Welcome to New to My Mac. My name is Kyle Sherman. I'm a former Apple Store employee, and I'm spreading my knowledge of the Apple platform to new users. This video series is intended for people who are switching from using Windows to Mac. I will be drawing parallels between the two platforms so that you can more easily understand the Mac platform. If you have very little or no experience with Windows, you can just disregard the comparisons I make back to Windows, and this should still be useful for you. Now, let's get started. I just wanted to quickly mention that even though I was saying Mac earlier, the operating system is now simply called OS X, and the 10 is an X. So that is how I will refer to it from here on out. Here we are at the main screen. You will see when you start your computer. Note that if you see a login screen before this, it functions just the same way as it does on Windows. Type in your password, hit enter, and you're here. As in Windows, this area is called the desktop. It can hold files and show you connected storage devices, just as it does in Windows. You may ask where the recycling bin is. Well, it's called the trash on OS X, and it's located in the next area we'll talk about, which is the dock. The dock is where you can store shortcuts to applications, folders, and files for quick, easy access. No longer will you be placing shortcuts to your applications on your desktop. Your dock is now the home for those shortcuts. If you look carefully, you will notice a divider here on the right. On the left side of the divider is where applications will go. On the right side is where folders, files, and the trash is located. If you try to drag an application to the right side of the dock, or drag a file or folder to the left side, it will not let you. As you see, it makes a space when it is available. You will notice when I open an application, there's a little black dot underneath the application. This shows that the application is currently running. Now on to the third and final element of the screen, the menu bar. Starting at the left, we have the Apple menu. This menu will give you actions you can take that affect your whole computer. This includes getting information about your computer, shutting it down or restarting, logging out of the current user, and changing all the settings in your computer. Quick aside that we'll come back to, the System Preferences option here opens the application, which is equivalent to Control Panel on Windows. In fact, everywhere on OS X where you see the word Preferences, it's equivalent to the word Settings that may be used on Windows. Next, you will see quite a few familiar menu items: File, Edit, Help, etc. These function the same way they function in Windows. The difference between Windows and OS X is that on Windows, these menu items are attached to each window of an application, whereas in OS X, these menu items are always located here and simply change depending on the active application. You'll also notice that I skipped one item. That item has the name of the currently active application. This will change when you change focus to a different application. We'll come back to this in a bit. As we move right past these menu bar items, you will see a few different icons. Icons may be removed or added based on different applications you have installed or options you've enabled or disabled. We're going to skip this first icon, which is related to the screen recording I'm doing. Next is the speaker icon. This controls the volume of the speakers in your computer. You can drag on the slider here, or use the F10, F11, and F12 keys on your keyboard, depending on if you have an Apple keyboard or not. Next is the Airport Wireless. This is where you will find all the available wireless networks that you can connect to. The stronger the signal, the more lines will be colored black instead of gray. Simply click on the name of the Wi-Fi network you would like to connect to in order to connect. Next, you will see the battery icon if you're on a laptop. If you click on it, you will get more information. Right now it is telling me my battery is charged. If I unplug, it will tell me how much time is remaining on the charge before the computer's battery dies. You'll also see it shows me applications that are using a significant amount of energy, so that you know if you want to save battery power, you can quit these applications so that your computer saves more energy. You may see more or less icons in this area, but these are the standard ones I will be going over in this video. Next, you will see the clock. If you click it, it will show you the date and give you options to change it to analog or go to the preferences for the date and time. Next is the magnifying glass icon. This is called Spotlight. Spotlight's main purpose is to find things on your computer very easily. It is very powerful and has many other features I will cover in a later video. For now, just know that if you want to find something, even if you don't know the name of a file, you can search even just words that are mentioned in that file. Lastly, we have Notification Center. This should be familiar to you if you have used iOS, the operating system on the iPod Touch, iPhone, and iPad. Here you will find notifications from different applications, as well as a Today view with different widgets that will show you information such as the date, the weather, stocks, and you can add more when you get different applications from other vendors. I will cover all of the different applications included with your Mac in a later video. For now, we'll just use Safari as an example. If you've used iOS, you should be familiar with Safari already. For those of you who haven't, Safari is the application you use to browse the internet. This is equivalent to Firefox, Chrome, or Internet Explorer. To open it, simply single-click the Safari icon. On the dock, anything you want to open is just a single click away. No need to double-click. You will notice the black dot is below the icon. This shows that the application is running, as I mentioned before. You'll also notice the menu bar has changed to say Safari. The menu options have also changed for the active application. You will notice 3 icons in the top left corner. If you hover your mouse over them, you'll see the first one is a red X, second a yellow minus, and third a green button with an icon with 2 triangles on the corners. These change the properties of the window. The red X will close the window. The yellow minus will minimize the window to the dock. You can click it again to open it back up. And the green button will switch the app to full screen mode. I will cover full screen mode in more detail later on, but for now just know that if you enter full screen mode, the menu bar will disappear. In order to exit full screen mode, move your mouse to the top of the screen and leave it there for a moment. The menu bar will return, and if you click the green button again, it will take you out of full screen mode. Now, on OS X, even if you close all of the open windows for an application, that will not stop the application from running. As you see, I closed the Safari window I had open, and you see there's still a black dot under the icon, showing me that the application is still running. You'll also notice that in the menu bar, it still says Safari. If I click on the desktop, the actively running application changes. As you see, Finder is now here, but you'll notice the black dot is still there in Safari. Let me zoom in here so you can see the black dot, just in case. In order to stop an application from running, you need to quit the application. There are 2 main ways to do this. Right-click on the application in the dock and click Quit, or if the application you want to quit is the active application, click on the application name in the menu bar and click Quit. Note that you can quit an application even if you have Windows open. As you see, now the black dot is gone. Safari is no longer running. For those of you confused about how to right-click, if you're on a laptop or on a Magic Trackpad, you can click or tap with 2 fingers to achieve a right-click. If you are using a Magic Mouse, you can simply click on the right side of the mouse, even though it feels like just one button. If these things don't work for you, you may need to enable it in System Preferences. I will cover System Preferences in more detail in a later video, but for now, just follow these steps to enable right-click. Open System Preferences, either from the dock here, or from the Apple menu. Go to Trackpad or Mouse, depending on which you're using, and enable the secondary click. As you see, mine is checked already, so it is enabled. The reason that OS X does not quit an application when you simply close all of the windows is that sometimes it can take time to launch a more complex application such as Adobe Photoshop, and it is much faster to be able to just leave the application running without it doing anything, and be able to open a window anytime with much less time needed for loading. Therefore, you don't really need to quit applications unless you are trying to save battery on a laptop or you notice your computer is running slowly. You can always use that battery icon to look at the apps that are using significant energy, and if the app is not in there, it's probably not a concern for you. I would just like to end by saying that the most important thing to do to learn is to explore. Don't be nervous that you're going to mess anything up. As long as you don't drag something to the trash and then empty the trash, most everything you do can be reversed. Computers are meant to be user-friendly. Anyone can learn to use them. Stay tuned for more videos.